What's up, guys? Keyshawn Uchiha here, back at you with another alternate universe. What if? And this is going to be part 3 of what if Deku was in the Black Ops. Now, due to y'all guys asking for a high demand and got the video up to 130 likes and no dislikes, I am goddamn impressed. I am too impressed with y'all guys. I am very proud of y'all. And I know I'm not a father, but I'm very proud of y'all. Anywho, we're not gonna do a recap, and we're just gonna get to the next part. If you want to know a recap, watch part 2. But anywho, let's get to the new parts. Now, Deku pretty much is at home. Well, you could pretty much at night at home with his daughter, pretty much talking to her and stuff, and having a family meal, talking to his mom and stuff. Inko. Now, this is where Inko is asking Deku one more time, "Are you sure, son, that you want to have this responsibility to raise your daughter?" And this is where Deku looks at Inko and pretty much looks at his daughter and says, "Let's give her the option. Should I have the right to be your father and take care of you?" Which, this is where Mizuku, she smiles and says, "Yes, I want you to be my dad." Which Deku says, "Well, there it is. I'm going to be her dad. And I'm going to do the best as I can to be her father." Now, next day, Deku is pretty much getting dressed and telling his daughter to pretty much stay at home, and if she stays home, he will get her something, get her a gift, and some ice cream, because her favorite thing is ice cream now. Which she says, okay. Now, Deku's pretty much heading, and he makes it in school, pretty much sitting down in the classroom, and he decides to have a quick snack and begins to eat a snack. Now, this is where Bakugo comes in and pretty much sits at the seat and pretty much says, "So, Deku, you have a daughter?" Which, "You actually have a daughter?" Which Deku eats and says, "Yeah, I do." This is where Bakugo says, "Well, where's the mother at?" And this is where Deku says, "She died. She got shot and died." And then continues eating, which Bakugo is shocked that Deku, he says it with a clean face, without feeling any sadness or anything. Now, this is where everybody else comes in and asks Deku, "So how did he have the daughter, and what do you have?" Which Deku is pretty much saying that he would out of state and to go somewhere, and he pretty much met a girl and they just had a one night stand, and he didn't know he got her pregnant. Now, this is where we're gonna say Uraraka says, "Ain't you supposed to wear protection? Ain't you learned that from sex ed?" Which Deku begins to laugh and says, "Listen, it felt so good that I didn't wear it." Which all the girls begins to blush at what Deku just said. Now, this is where Razorhead is explaining to everybody, telling them that that they're going to go on a trip. That they're going to go on the trip to test their heroism and stuff and all that. Now, this is where everybody's excited and stuff, including Deku, saying, "All right," and they head on the bus and going to the USJ attack. Now, this is where Deku was on the bus reading a book, and pretty much getting a call from Alex that after the trip done, that they have to go meet his new squad unit for the team. Which Deku says, "All right." Now, as they heading, Deku feels a feeling in his gut, but he doesn't know what. So he scans around the area with his eyes, and he doesn't see anything. So he's thinking to himself, then what can I have this feeling that something's not right? But they're heading in, and pretty much this is where they meet the other hero, the pro hero, and he's talking about the whole situation, what they're gonna be doing. Now, this is where sorry. This is where Shigaraki comes in, and pretty much the whole thing happened. This is where eat on. Pretty much he runs to go get All Might because Deku doesn't say anything, and they get teleported. Now, everybody's getting teleported at separation, and Razorhead having this fight with the villains and stuff. Now, this is where Deku looks down and see villains in the water, which the villains are saying, "Ha, y'all won't get away from us. Even if y'all trying to swim away, we just eat you up." Now, this is where Deku says, "Alright," and pretty much summons a frozen plasma grenade of ice. Well, liquid nitrogen. You could say dry ice that will, kill you. Well, I think it burns, you could say. It burns. It's like really hot and cold. I don't know how's that possible, but pretty much Deku throws in the water, the grenade in water, and freezes them. And they're pretty much not frozen. You could say more the opposite of the dry ice thing. Now, Deku hops on the ice. Well, pretty much turns on his exosuit and grabs Flappy and Mineta and grabs him and pretty much begins to walk on the ice and puts him down on the ground, saying, "Alright, y'all go help out the rest while I go help out Razorhead." Now, this is where Razorhead is, having fight all the villains and stuff, and Deku pretty much pulls out, we're going to say, the M1 Grand, but modified. We're going to say modified. Kind of, think of the M1 Grand from Call of Duty Black Ops 3, but it's modified. So, yeah, it's pretty lit. Now, Deku's pretty much shooting at villains, pretty much shooting them in the head and stuff and killing them. And he's like shooting them left and right and stuff, and he pretty much stabs one with a bayonet and pulls out a gun and shoots the rest of them. Now, this is where Deku faces back with Razorhead, and Razorhead saying, "What are you doing, Deku?" And Deku says, "I came here to help you out," which this is where Deku and Razorhead continue that fight. Now, this is where Razorhead fights Nomu, and he's pretty much taking the L. Now, this is where he throws a punch at Shigaraki, which Shigaraki catches and pretty much is hurting him. Now, Razorhead backs up and the Nomu kicks Razorhead and sends him flying into the wall. Now, this is where All Might is almost there to come in until Shigaraki is pretty much, you could say pretty much is laughing, saying, "If All Might doesn't come in time, y'all all about to die." Now, this is where Deku gets the grenade launcher and pretty much says, "Alright, let's see how this Nomu handles a full plasma blast," and shoots Nomu with it. Now, this is a unique grenade launcher that does a plant, kind of like fuse weapon, but merged together, as the bullets will fuse to you and blow up with green plasma. Now, this is where Deku shoots a grenade at the Nomu, and pretty much Nomu looks down and says, "Hmm?" and blows up half of the body. Now, Deku's saying, "Huh, looked like the Nomu wasn't strong after all." Which Shigaraki's saying, "What? It can't be." Which this is where Deku begins to pulls out two M14s and pretty much fire, well, two Uzi Melanidas, and start to fire at Shigaraki. Shigaraki gets hit by 3 bullets and pretty much hits the ground, which this is where his servant teleports him out of there, and the rest of the villains pretty much is stuck. Now, this is where All Might comes in and, trying to see the situation. He realized that he's too late, but Deku pretty much handled it. Now, this is where All Might's acting everywhere was alright, and this is where Deku was pretty much saying, "No, Razorhead, he pretty much got hurt in the process," and this is where he gets a needle, which this is a needle that heals any wound over time, but not fast, but it heals wounds over time. Now, this is where Deku hits Razorhead with the in him in the neck with the needle, and he begins to heal up slowly, and he says he will recover. It's just where Deku takes off his, well, pretty much unforms his helmet, and this is where All Might is saying, "Deku, did you like handle this, which and killed half of these villains?" Which Deku says, "Yeah, they was going to kill us, so it's killed or be killed." And All Might says, "Well, don't do it again. You supposed to stop it." The villains, which Deku says, "Listen, All Might, you can talk to me all you want about not killing things, but it's not gonna work." And pretty much begins to walk. Now, the teachers pretty much gives the students 2 weeks. I think a 2-week break, hopefully, to pretty much to get a break in, to figure out who was the person who attacked and how did they get in. Now, this is where Deku is sitting down with his daughter and pretty much while he's brushing her hair and he's watching news and stuff. Now, this is where Inko says she's gonna go on a little bit of a vacation to the spa, which Deku says, "Okay, mom." Now, this is where Inko hops in the limousine where the president is in, and pretty much Inko had to talk with the president. Now, the president is pretty much talking to Inko and saying that he wants to be in his son's life more. Which Inko is saying, "Now, why should I let you be in your son's life if you said you didn't want nothing to do with it?" Now, this is where he says, "I didn't mean it that way. I just wanted to do my goals and do my things," which Inko says, "Alright, if you can do me this one, if you can support me and Deku, then I will let you in his life," which he says, "Alright." Now, this is where Deku is pretty much is eating some ice cream with his daughter and stuff until Alex comes in and says it's time for the daily checkup. Now, this is where Deku's getting his checkup and stuff, and also checking it if the Nano chip is broken or any kind of way. And she realized that it got upgraded. It's upgrading itself without needing her help, and she realized that and saying, and asking Deku, "Is that quirk one for all is like working together?" And I think it's upgrading your suit automatically, like making it stronger and stuff and better. Which Deku says, "Huh, so it is?" Which she says yes. Now Alex pretty much asks Deku, "Is he ready to meet his team?" Which Deku says yeah. Now this is where he brings his daughter with him, and they begins to head to the military place. You could say one of the military places. Now as they're heading there, this is where you could say the team is already ready. Now this is where Alex says, "Alright guys, this is your leader and also your higher up, Deku, Lieutenant Deku." Now, this is where everybody's introducing themselves, and the first guy goes first and says, and he's from New Zealand, he's basically saying, "Oi, my name is Lieutenant Dexter. I'm your go-to guy of field and also medicacy as a medic, and also as the medic. The next one is the female, which she's from America, which her name is Lieutenant Jane. Lieutenant Jane. She is the sniper, aka the lookout for the team. And then another one came out, which is a male. Well, not a male, female, and she's from Korea, and her name is Lieutenant Luck. Well, codename Luck, but Lieutenant Luck, and she's the engineer that repairs the suits and stuff, but also sets out the traps and turrets and stuff. Well, sets out the traps and turrets. And then we got the last one, and it's a guy, and he's the heavy, and his code name is Lieutenant Jugger, but his name is Knock. So get it, Juggernaut, but Knock as Lieutenant Knock. But pretty much he explains himself as the Juggernaut, as the ground support, and also the tank and stuff, and the planked out the shields and all that. Which he can give out shields, which Deku says, "Alright, it's nice to meet y'all." Now, this is where Lieutenant Luck, she asks, are they going to do any training or anything? Which Deku says, yeah, they're going to start some training in a minute, but first let him talk to his daughter. and have her to take a seat and stuff to do something else, which they look and they see Deku's daughter, which they say, huh, he has a kid. He has a kid and he's young. Now, this is where Deku talks to his daughter and says, okay, Muzuku, you're just gonna sit down and relax while I train my team, which Muzuki says, okay, Dad. Now, this is where Deku is beginning to train with his team and stuff. And this is where you could say the general gives Deku a call and says they have a mission. And him and his team is going to, head to Pakistan. To Africa to pretty much to stop this application of drug trading, or you could say weapon trading and stuff, and make sure to stop the thing and find out who's the coat, which Deku says, alright. Now, this is where Deku tells his daughter that he has to go to Africa. He will be back soon, which she says okay and be safe. Which this is where Deku and his team gets ready. Now they're pretty much activating the exosuits and begins to hop on the jet and fly. Now as they're flying, pretty much Deku is talking to his team and saying what they're playing and stuff, and they agreed upon. Now they land. They're pretty much landing now on the ground, and Deku pretty much activates incognito mode, which all of them has it. Now as they're going, they find the trade and stuff, and they're pretty much going slowly. You could say walking very slowly, so they won't get noticed. Now this is where Deku points a laser beam at, you could say, 4 guards, and they're all linked together with his team. And he says, ready, and now, and they all get shot in the head. Now, it's kind of like Ghost Recon synchronization sometimes, but kind of not. But pretty much, Deku begins to say, alright, release the explosions, which this is where Agent Luck pretty much activate the explosion and pretty much start firing. Now this is where they find the corporate and get the information and pretty much kill him. Now they send back the information from the general, which they said, good job, now head back home. They start to head back home. Now those 2 weeks is over and Deku's pretty much heading back, which the school already informed the moms and parents that they're going to be staying at pretty much at you could say, their own dorm, so they can watch over the students, which Deku's kind of being like, huh. But he wants his daughter to be with him, so his daughter doesn't feel the lecture or anything, so they let it happen. Now Deku pretty much has his room, but he shares a room with his daughter, so his daughter pretty much shares a bed with him, and also they play video games together and eat food. And also Deku is trying to take her to a school or somewhere, or find a school for her. Now everything goes the same as they're all showing the rooms and stuff, and Deku room is a little bit tiny bit of military, but also with video games and stuff for his daughter, and also a laptop and all that. Now Deku pretty much is outside, pretty much he's pretty much outside sitting down, smoking a cigarette. This is where Momoshiki is, pretty much sits by Deku and asks if he's alright, which he says yeah, he's fine. Now this is where she says, so, about your daughter, she got your eyes and your looks, which Deku says, oh, you think so? And she says, yeah. Are you okay being a father? Which Deku smiles and looks at her saying, why? Was you supposed to be the one who was supposed to marry me? And we were supposed to have children? Which Shinki pretty much blushes and says, no, it's not like that. Which Deku smiles and says, it's okay. But this is where Deku gets up and says, well, I'll see you tomorrow then? And pretty much heads in his room and pretty much goes to sleep. Now, this is where they all wake up and they're heading to the classroom. Now, this is where Razorhead is talking about the USJ. the sports tournament, and everybody should get ready for it. Which everybody decided and stuff, including Deku. And they're all, pretty much all head out. Pretty much all eat lunch and stuff. And this is where Bakugo asks Deku to train him to get ready for a sports tournament. Which Deku looks around and says, "You're talking to me?" Which this is where Bakugo says, Yes, you dickhead. I'm talking to you." Which Deku says, laugh, and says, "Alright." Now this is part 3 of What If Deku was in the Black Ops. I'm sorry if this was short, but I hope y'all like this video and enjoy. Leave a like, comment it down below, and also share this with your friends. Alright? But I'm Keisha Chia. Thanks for watching, and I'm thinking maybe I might make a third video of a new What If. Probably not, but I'm Keisha Chia. Thanks for watching, and peace out.
It looks like you lost another one.